This episode of TechNewsDay is sponsored by Stitch Fix and Kaptara.
What's up, pedophiles? 2019 and the decade are nearly finished, so it's quite fitting that last week, the end of a decade, we finally got to see the conclusion of perhaps the most iconic saga that this show has ever seen. Elon Musk calling Vernon Unsworth a pedophile on Twitter.com. And, long story short, Elon won the case, bringing this very dumb year-and-a-half-long story to a very dumb end. Cool.
Also, just competing. This video is now competing for the fastest demonetization we've ever had on the channel, right at the end of the decade.
Yeah, I had a pretty good feeling this one would get demonetized anyway, so, you know.
Yeah. Now, okay, we're going to go through this really quick. If you've somehow managed to stay out of the loop on all this, it began in the summer of 2018 when all those kids got trapped in that damn cave in Thailand. It was an utterly grim situation with little hope for a happy ending, but experts in various fields from all around the world got together and actually managed to successfully get those kids out, with only one Thai Navy SEAL ending up losing their life in the process.
So one of the people involved in the rescue was Vernon Unsworth, a British man living in Thailand whose knowledge of this particular cave proved to be vital to the rescue. He literally drew the map that they used. Another person involved in the rescue, though, or at least who wanted to be, was Elon Musk, billionaire executive at SpaceX, Tesla, the Boring Company, all sorts of other things, and also, as it turns out, an extremely thin-skinned person. Musk put his SpaceX engineers to work building a tiny boy-sized submarine to cram those kids into in order to get them out of the cave. But in the end, the rescue team on the ground in Thailand opted for a more traditional rescue, and it miraculously proved successful. All 12 boys and their coach made it out alive.
Following what was surely the most stressful and exhausting weeks of his life, Vernon Unsworth was interviewed by various outlets about the rescue, and in one interview was asked for his thoughts on Elon Musk's boy submarine, which he described as a PR stunt with no real chance of success given the circumstances of the cave. He also said that Elon could shove his little sub where it hurts, which seems to have really set Elon off. Elon hopped onto Twitter to not only defend the viability of his sub, but also to downplay Unsworth's involvement in the rescue and to call him a pedo guy.
Yeah. So when someone tweeted out their dismay that Elon Musk was calling Vernon Unsworth a pedo, Musk replied, "Bet you a signed dollar it's true." So there's your double down.
Yeah.
Musk did eventually apologize a few days later, but because he doesn't know how to just shut the fuck up, a month later when someone brought it up on Twitter again, he replied, "You don't think it's strange he hasn't sued me? He was offered free legal services." Turns out, though, that Unsworth's lawyers had in fact already sent a letter to Musk notifying him that they might sue, and well, yeah.
When BuzzFeed News reached out to Musk about that potential lawsuit, he responded with a series of bizarre emails doubling down on some very specific claims about Unsworth being a bona fide child rapist. As we learned much later, this was based on bogus intel from a con artist posing as a private investigator that Musk had hired not long after the initial pedo guy comments in order to dig up dirt on Unsworth in case he did sue for defamation. We gotta find out if this is true or not, because I might be in some hot water.
That's the thing. When you're a billionaire, you can just say whatever you want, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to give you $50,000 to find a way to make what I just said true.
We need you to buy up a bunch of very young Thai girls and boys and parade them around Unsworth until he can't handle it anymore.
Sure that was probably step 3 or 4 of the plan. It didn't make it that far, but
what do you mean Epstein's in jail? We need these baby hookers.
Can you get his black book at least?
Yeah.
Anyway, fast forward to last week, and the defamation trial was held here in Los Angeles. Those BuzzFeed emails in which Musk directly and explicitly accused Unsworth of pedophilia, they were blocked from being used to seek damages. They could only be used as evidence of Musk's state of mind.
The insanity defense.
Yeah, so the entire case revolved around whether the pedo guy tweets constituted $190 million worth of defamation. In the end, after deliberating for less than an hour, the jury decided that they did not.
Well, yeah, $190 million is a ridiculous amount of money.
It's a lot. But also, Elon Musk, he loses lawsuits all the time. He's just throwing money around.
Now, the thing about defamation lawsuits, at least in America, is that they're not really about whether a statement is false. They're about whether that false statement caused actual personal and professional harm. And Unsworth and his attorneys weren't able to make a strong case that Musk's comments had really cost him anything. Unsworth had received multiple official honors from his work on the cave rescue, and it's impossible to know whether he missed out on other honors and opportunities without someone directly saying, "Hey, we were going to give you something, but we also heard that you were a pedophile, so we're not going to do that now."
Yeah, nobody said that, though, so
yeah.
Impossible to know. Still, though, A billionaire telling his 22 million Twitter followers that a private citizen only briefly in the public eye is a pedophile is a kind of fucked up thing to do, regardless of whether that person likes your dumb little boy coffin submarine or not. But the jury apparently sided with Musk's interpretation of the events. Quote, I knew he didn't literally mean to sodomize me with a submarine, just as I didn't literally mean he was a pedophile. So in other words, calling Unsworth pedo guy was not a statement of fact.
Yeah, so here's where I get upset with it, is like, okay, you get angry, you call him a pedo guy on there. Not cool at all.
Yeah.
But the fact that he not only doubled down, but tripled down.
Yeah.
So that was the point where it was like, he's actually calling him a pedophile and saying that he has...
yeah. And, there's obviously the power imbalance. And, like, if you were on Twitter.com that day, which I was, it was, it was like the top trending story, like, literally millions of people were talking about this. And I remember going into those fucking chains, and there was a lot of hardcore Musk fanboys who were just like, he probably is a pedophile. What's he doing over in Thailand? That is pretty sus.
Yeah, I know. And what I'm saying, too, is that if that guy, he's actually kind of lucky that he lives away from America, because if he was in America, some fucked up shit probably could have happened to him, because, I mean, people take the internet pretty seriously.
Yeah.
And, over here in America, it's a lot easier to lose opportunities and jobs based on false accusations.
Oh,
so,
for sure.
Yeah. Maybe it worked out that he lived in Thailand. But I still, at the very least, emotional damages had to have existed, because that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, like they had some pretty good like firsthand testimony that he was pretty shaken by the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I mean that's not enough apparently. Anyways, following the verdict, Musk told reporters, "My faith in humanity is restored."
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, seriously. Unsworth told the press that he respects the jury's decision and, quote, I've taken it on the chin. I'll just have to get on with my life. And Unsworth not only didn't spend a single cent on this case, the whole thing was pro bono, and he got a free trip to LA.
Ooh.
Pretty cool. Hope he went to Disneyland. But he also spent a good chunk of his testimony just repeatedly refusing to apologize to Elon Musk for saying that his sub was a PR stunt, which is pretty baller.
Yeah.
He was getting grilled over this. They asked him like 10 separate
No,
times.
it was stupid.
And they're like, well, I mean, like, the Prime Minister of Thailand thanked him for his work. Do you still think it was a PR stunt? And he's like, I don't have any reason not to think that.
Yeah. Have you seen his fucking truck?
Yeah. It had to feel nice, being in the same room as Elon Musk, feet away from him, being grilled by two of the most expensive attorneys in America, and still just being like, nah, don't feel bad about it. And also, on top of all that, Musk's attorneys say that they won't be suing for attorney's fees, so the guy didn't lose a damn thing.
Yeah, I guess. So in the end, Vernon Unsworth walks away no worse off than he was before. His attorney, L. Lynn Wood, wrote a post-trial editorial for Law.com pointing out that Musk's "Why hasn't he sued me yet if it's not true?" tweet meant that Unsworth had no choice but to sue. And in this case, regardless of the verdict, does in fact clear Unsworth's name and definitely exonerates him of the pedophilia accusations. I mean, that's fucking true.
Yeah.
If he hadn't sued, then that would have been an admission of guilt in the court of Twitter.com.
Yeah. And Twitter court...
It's serious business.
It's the highest court in the land.
Wood also announced his retirement after this case.
And Lynn Wood is literally, he's the guy, that new movie about the Atlanta bombing.
Yeah.
He's the lawyer who represented...
Richard Jewell?
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, he's like one of the top defamation attorneys in the world.
You know what?
And this is the case that made him, he's like, I was sitting around the Thanksgiving table, and I was just like, you know what, kids? I'm done after this. That's it.
And as his family, I would have been like, thank you, Boomer. You're one of the only ones that decides to leave their job by a certain age and doesn't work at that job until they're 100.
Yeah.
Thus, taking away jobs from younger people.
I mean, this guy's like 70, I think.
Yeah, it's fine. 70.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
Get out. Stop doing the job. Make some room.
Yeah.
Anyways, this whole thing, including his retirement, concludes the dumbest saga in the history of this goddamn show, which was originally about technology, but is now almost exclusively about how terrible and psychotic billionaire tech executives are. With a little tech sprinkled in.
Yeah.
Except the problem with this show and covering tech is that we went from when we started this show, it was, maybe 2-3 years after the iPhone came out.
Yeah, new gadgets all the time.
Wow. Tech was evolving at a rapid pace. And now we're seeing the bad side of that.
Yeah. Innovation has stalled. Egos have grown.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a time to be alive.
Yeah.
Anyways, following the trial, Elon went out to celebrate with a nice meal at Nobu up in Malibu, taking his Tesla Cybertruck with him. Yeah, the Cybertruck was spotted all over LA, looking just as big and as weird as ever. And while pulling out of Nobu at the end of his meal, Musk turned left into the intersection, plowing over a clearly visible right turn only traffic pylon that's roughly the size of a small child. So
Well,
just a great little advertisement for his truck.
Yeah, well, no harm to
You
the
will
truck,
kill
though.
someone.
No harm to the truck.
No, the truck was fine.
It would have been fucking hilarious if it had like one of those broken window things on it, like just a shatter,
Yeah.
right where it hit the sign.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
When it comes out, I'm ordering a bunch of those stickers from China.
Yeah.
And anytime I see one parked, I'm
Just stick it on
slapping
it, yeah.
there.
Perfect.
It's not vandalism if you don't get caught.
Yeah. Well, actually, you could just get a magnet version of it, so you can just peel it off. The owner could peel it off. So there you go. No harm, no foul. But hey, listen. This whole trial, it proves that when you're rich, they let you do it. They don't let you do anything. Speaking of things that you can only do when you're rich, that new Mac Pro that Apple revealed 6 months ago, it's finally available for purchase if you're rich. At the time, the starting price was revealed to be $6,000, but it was unclear what a fully maxed out Mac Pro would cost. And if you're getting a Mac Pro, you're using it for business. So the 6K thing, it's like, all right, but you're probably an animator.
It's an investment.
Or, yeah, something like that. Or your parents are really rich and you need it as a status symbol. You know, you set it up at the Starbucks. Yeah. Everyone knows that you got the Mac Pro. Anyways, all things included, this fully maxed out Mac Pro, at the time, The Verge estimated that it would probably be around $35,000, which is
That's crazy.
ridiculous. But now that it's on sale, we know that the $35,000 estimate was short by nearly $18,000. That's right. A fully upgraded 2020 Mac Pro costs $52,748. You get a fucking Cybertruck for that much
You
money.
can get like 2 Cybertrucks.
Nah.
Well, 1.5.
Okay, so let's break down how a single Apple computer can cost that much by looking at the configuration options on Apple's website. How many iPencils is in this thing?
It's all pencil. So, okay, you got the starting price of $6,000. Upgrading the processor to a 28-core processor adds $7,000. Upgrading to a 4 terabyte SSD adds $1,400. Adding a trackpad in addition to the mouse, you're going to want the trackpad. That adds $149. And you're going to want wheels for your rig in case you need to move it in and out of the Starbucks that you're going to be at.
Yeah, exactly.
Those wheels will cost you $400. Maxing out the graphics with 2 cards, adding up to 128 gigs of memory, adds $10,800. And if you want an afterburner card for real-time editing of 8K ProRes footage, that's another $2,000. And finally, the RAM. Upgrading from 32 gigs to 1.5 terabytes of RAM adds $25,000. So in total, $52,748 US.
You know, the world has, 8 billion people in it now almost? You know that there is one kid who's going to get the maxed out Mac Pro just to play Minecraft
Yeah,
on
he
it.
lives in Abu Dhabi.
Dad!
Guarantee it.
My dad, I wanted it right now, so he took one of those Uber drones right over to the local Best Buy and picked it up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so listen, if you've already dropped that much on a computer, you're going to want something a little better than your typical display monitor. That would be stupid to spend all this money and not have the most beautiful display possible. Well, thankfully, there's Apple's new 32-inch 6K Pro Display XDR monitor. You know, obviously you're going to want to drop a little extra for the glare-free nano texture glass, and you're also going to want a stand for it. So that adds up to $6,998. So yeah, I guess the full package for the truly optimal 2020 Mac Pro experience is actually going to run you $59,746. But I mean, when you're already in for 50 whatever thousand, what's a little bit more?
Come on, complete the package.
Now this might seem absurd and a huge waste of money, but folks, you can pay all that off just editing 1 or 2 feature films. So I don't really see what the big deal is.
Come on.
One more thing though. If you're looking to do more basic computing tasks like Skype calls, you're going to need a webcam. But thankfully, Logitech has a very reasonably priced $200 webcam specifically for that XDR monitor.
You're going to want the webcam, so tack that on.
Yeah. Are you sure there's not a webcam that's more expensive? Seems kind of cheap if I'm putting a $200 webcam on top of a really expensive monitor.
I think I'm just going to go buy a 8K red,
I need a red
Scarlett
camera.
camera. I'm going to get it mounted to a jib in front of my computer.
Yeah.
And I'll use that for my Skype calls.
Exactly. Perfect.
Anyways, if all those numbers that we're throwing out are causing you physical pain in the part of your ass where your wallet sits, here's a more affordable piece of tech. A foldable phone tablet hybrid that costs just $349. For such a new innovation, that's a remarkably affordable price. And you can thank Roberto Escobar, brother of Pablo Escobar, for that. Yes, the Escobar Fold, as it's called, is the latest product to come out of the Escobar cartel, or rather, Escobar Inc., as it's now known.
Perfect. Roberto Escobar was formerly the accountant and chief of assassinations for the Medellin cartel during his brother's reign as king of cocaine in the 80s and 90s. He spent 12 years in prison for his involvement, but these days he manages the Escobar family's remaining assets, which I just assume is a fun tourist stop whenever you're visiting Colombia. Look, there's all those animals he unleashed into the wild where they don't belong.
Well, I guess hippos live in Colombia now. Cool.
This foldable phone is his latest effort to diversify his family's funds into more legitimate ventures. You can check out the Escobar Fold over at the Escobar Inc. website, but maybe don't do it at work because there's just full-on tits on the main landing page of the site. And the entire marketing strategy around this phone seems to be attractive, scantily clad Colombian women posing with it. It's a burner phone.
Yeah.
That's why it's cheap. This is to keep away from your wife.
It's a burner phone, and it folds, baby.
Yeah.
But you better not fold when the police start questioning you.
Yeah.
You do the time.
There's a lock on it.
Roberto did the time.
If the Escobar phone realizes based on GPS that you are in a police station, it will stay locked.
Yeah. So the demo video for the Escobar Fold 1 is literally just a topless woman folding and unfolding the device.
Fuck yeah.
You don't really see marketing like this much nowadays.
It's because he was in prison for so long.
Yeah.
It's like, it's still the 90s.
Yeah.
Sex sells.
Yeah, prison is, it's sort of...
A time capsule.
A time capsule, yeah. But yeah, you don't see, busty babes in your tech ads so much anymore, but you also don't see prices like this anymore. Nobody told them about inflation.
No. I mean, it's beautiful to see it.
Yeah. The Escobar Fold 1, easily the most affordable folding phone out there.
I like how it's named the Fold 1, guaranteeing a sequel.
Yeah. If you're okay with some old-fashioned red-blooded misogyny and the device being funded by cocaine cartel blood money, this could be the device for you.
I love it. And I'll be picking it up.
It's a status symbol.
Oh, yeah, it certainly is.
And clearly the babes love it.
Yeah. I'm going to set up my fucking Mac Pro at the Starbucks, get on my Escobar flip phone, and promptly be arrested, probably.
Yeah.
Anyways, this episode is sponsored by Stitch Fix. Personal style is like a fingerprint. Everyone has their own. Whatever your style, the expert stylists at Stitch Fix are ready to help you express yourself. Stitch Fix is an online personal styling service that delivers your favorite clothing brands right to your door. To get started, go to stitchfix.com/newsday, answer some questions about your preferred style, and your personal shopper will ship you a box of clothes, shoes, and accessories.
There's no commitment required, and you only pay for what you keep. Shipping, exchanges, and returns are always free. Plus, the $20 styling fee is automatically applied towards anything you keep from your box. You'll never have to worry about looking good again with Stitch Fix. Get started today at stitchfix.com/newsday and get an extra 25% off when you keep everything in your box. Again, that is stitchfix.com/newsday.
This episode is also sponsored by Kaptara. What if you could make your work take less work? You can with Kaptara. Kaptara helps you find the right software for your needs fast, so you can get back to business even faster. Compare thousands of software options, read reviews, and instantly narrow your favorites. You'll have more time in no time. Find the right software right now at kaptara.com/newsday.
Kaptara is the leading free online resource to help you find the best software solution for your business. With over 1 million reviews of products from real software users, discover everything you need to make an informed decision. Search more than 700 specific categories of software. Everything from project management to email marketing to yoga studio management software. No matter what kind of software your business needs, Kaptara makes it easy to discover the right solution fast. Join the millions of people who use Kaptara each month to find the right tools for their business. Visit kaptara.com/newsday for free today to find the tools to make an informed software decision for your business. Kapterra.com, kaptara.com/newsday. Kaptara, software selection simplified.
Now back to the news. Here's a story we didn't think we'd still be talking about in December 2019.
God damn it.
Another one from the archives.
Yep.
The coolest cooler. God, if you remember our first coolest cooler episode.
That was a good one.
Congratulations on graduating high school and college. Once again, we appreciate you. Listen, this Coolest Cooler was a gift. A content gift.
Yeah.
It's a topic that's so old, we're not really sure when the last time we actually talked about it was.
I couldn't find any evidence.
And there's no way of knowing because all of that stuff is long gone. We could search the scripts, but it obviously hasn't, it hasn't happened in a year and a half because we haven't written about it.
It's from like 2 Dropboxes ago. It's gone.
But basically, the Coolest Cooler is probably the most infamous Kickstarter failure in the entire history of crowdfunding. In the summer of 2014, the Coolest Cooler went up on Kickstarter, promising a portable cooler with every upgrade imaginable built in. A blender, a Bluetooth speaker, USB charging ports, LED lights, bottle opener, bungee tie-downs, plates, a corkscrew, a knife, a cutting board, cup holders, and internal dividers. It's a party in a box, and it was designed by Homer Simpson.
Yeah. No flashlight, though.
No flashlight or flashlight?
Whichever. Optional upgrade. Flashlight. Hey, it's your party.
Yeah.
Now, for reasons we still don't understand, the Coolest Cooler became the most funded Kickstarter ever.
Like I said, 2014 tech was a lot cooler. It was 5 years ago.
People had more trust, more optimism about things.
Yeah. They were like...
In 2014.
They were like, have you seen the upgrades with phones and computers? Why shouldn't we upgrade a cooler?
Yeah.
This will work.
Yeah, the Coolest Cooler, it was the most funded Kickstarter ever. It pulled in over $13 million in its first month. And it is still, to this day, the second most funded Kickstarter ever, second only to the Pebble Time smartwatch, an actual product that people liked. Unlike the Pebble Time, the people behind the Coolest Cooler had no experience manufacturing and shipping a product to tens of thousands of customers, and they ended up getting bogged down in numerous delays.
Yeah, this is a time when also you could just outsource everything to China and no one cared about it.
Send over some CAD files. And, So some customers got their cooler within a year. All good. But due to the complexity of the whole operation, the Coolest people, they ran out of money, and the whole thing stalled pretty badly.
Wow, doing all these in one affordable product seems to be a big waste of time and money. Anyways, in the 5 years since its debut, about 2/3 of the original 60,000 backers have received their coolers. So there you go.
Good for them.
It's a long-term investment. And you know what? These things are going to be worth some money in like 70 years.
Sell it to the museum.
Yeah. But those last 20,000, they will not be receiving anything at all. On the original Kickstarter page, a message this week told backers that it was all over, blaming the Coolest Cooler's demise on Trump's tariffs on goods manufactured in China. Cool, I nailed it.
Donald Trump put the final nail in the coffin of the Coolest Cooler.
Yeah.
And for that,
thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Backers who never received a cooler are, however, they're entitled to up to $20 from a settlement between Coolest and the Oregon Department of Justice, stemming from all the various legal complaints over the years.
So the funniest and saddest thing about the Coolest Cooler is that while these people waited 5 years for the coolers that they backed in 2014, to no avail, Coolest was selling plenty of them outside of Kickstarter. Now, why would they do that? Well, Kickstarter is non-refundable, and there's zero guarantee that you'll actually get the product you back. They got their seed money from the Kickstarter backers. They quickly ran out of that money because they didn't calculate their costs correctly. And then after accruing so much debt trying to make the Coolest Cooler happen, the Kickstarter backers were Coolest's lowest possible priority.
Yeah.
It made no sense to try to fulfill the original Kickstarter orders when they could be selling on the open market and actually be getting paid. And they say they planned, after they sold enough on the open market, that money would go back to the Kickstarter orders, but not going to happen.
Yeah.
So let this be the final lesson on why Kickstarter is a terrible place to spend money.
Yeah. But speaking of terrible places to spend money, most online t-shirt websites, and by extension, Amazon. For years, artists have complained that when they post their work on social media, it often ends up available on shirt sites without their permission. They get no money from these sales, and because they're often literally starving artists, they don't actually have the means to actually do anything about it. DMCA takedowns usually work, but they don't get paid for whatever sales have been completed. And in order to stay on top of things, they have to constantly search the internet for their own artwork.
Now, one reason that this is such a huge problem is that apparently it's mostly done by bots who scour social media for comments saying different variations on, "I want that on a shirt." So, first off, please don't reply to artists you like with that kind of comment. But secondly, this knowledge does open the door for some very fun trolling. Now, you can't beat the bots, but you can definitely fuck with them. And that's what people have been doing lately on Twitter.com.
Once people realized how quickly an "I want that on a shirt" leads to an actual product appearing for sales online, artists and their followers started coordinating efforts to get designs on shirt sites either featuring designs copyrighted by big litigious corporations or designs saying essentially, "This is a stolen design," or some combination thereof.
So yeah, here's a few. "This site sells stolen artwork. Do not buy from them." And bam, there it is on sale. Here's a roughly drawn Mickey Mouse with the text, "Not licensed by the Walt Disney Company. This is not a parody. We committed copyright infringement and want to be sued by Disney. We pay all court and tribunal fees."
Amazing.
And bam, that's for sale.
You love it.
To really fuck with these sites, which probably run from China, at least a few of them, here's another Mickey with a speech bubble saying, "China must be held accountable for its crimes against Uyghur Muslims. Just ask me, Mickey Mouse, IP of the Disney Corporation. Ha ha.
Ha ha.
Ha ha."
There are countless very funny examples of this, perhaps too funny, because kind of want one of these shirts.
Yeah.
Just like the Santa doing cocaine.
It's ironic.
Yeah. It's unclear whether Disney or Nintendo or any of the various companies whose designs have been socially engineered onto these sites will in fact sue, but it would be cool if they did. Otherwise, this doesn't really solve anything, except makes a bunch more cool t-shirts.
Yeah.
But again, it's funny. But realistically, in real life, do not comment about wanting stuff on shirts online if you don't want the artists that you like getting ripped off. Support the artist by actually going through official channels or emailing them.
Yeah.
Or going to their official website.
Yeah.
Just do that. I'm Mickey Mouse and I approve this message.
Ha-ha.
Mickey Mouse, the pedophile.
In other news, sure sounds like working for Facebook is not very fun, at least...
Wow.
Or especially when you tell your friends and family about it. Employees concerned about what to say when people start asking them questions about working at Facebook is such a problem, apparently, that Facebook created an internal chatbot called LiamBot for the employees to use this holiday season. Released just before Thanksgiving, LiamBot lets Facebook employees ask the types of questions that their friends and relatives are asking, and it provides simple, official answers for the employees to then use.
This is so, like, take a look at, I'm sure the money's great. That's the problem. The money is probably so fucking good at Facebook that it's like, man, kind of decision to make. Happiness and not dealing with the constant strain on my morals working in this company versus being financially free.
Yeah.
It's a tough decision. And
the Bay Area is not cheap.
I can't slight them for continuing their work, but it is sad that it has come to the fact that they needed to create a bot to give them excuses as to why the company is okay with their families.
Yeah.
With their families.
It's like you're working for Facebook and you come home to Thanksgiving and your brother-in-law, who's like a concentration camp guard in an ICE facility, is like, "Man, I just don't know how you can work for Mark Zuckerberg. That man is pure evil."
Yep. Well, according to the New York Times, quote, "If a relative asked how Facebook handled hate speech, for example, the chatbot, which is a simple piece of software that uses artificial intelligence to carry on a conversation, would instruct the employee to answer with these points. Facebook consults with experts on the matter. It has hired more moderators to police its content. It is working on AI to spot hate speech. Regulation is important for addressing the issue. It would also suggest citing statistics from a Facebook report about how the company enforces its standards." Totally normal things that people would say, not like a robot, to their families.
Actually, Dad. So, yeah, if you find yourself in a conversation with a Facebook employee this holiday season and you notice them maybe glancing at their phone and typing things when you call them out for working for the worst tech company on earth, they're probably talking to LiamBot.
Yeah.
Now, of course, a simpler solution to all of this for everyone is for Facebook employees to just tell all their friends and family that they work for Google or Apple, or maybe something even more
I drive an Uber.
I work for Oracle or Sun Microsystems. Just one of those companies just like, I don't know.
Texas Instruments.
Yeah.
Honeywell. They probably make weapons, though. Yeah.
Honeywell made like Agent Orange or some shit.
Yeah, but people don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you work in Silicon Valley. All those companies have hardcore NDAs. So it doesn't matter where you work according to your family.
Just be honest and tell them that you work there because it makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's your family. They want you to be successful.
Yeah, that's true.
Like friends, whatever, people they don't know, whatever. Your dad's not going to be like, you should probably quit that $700,000 a year job.
I don't think Dad is complaining about
Dad just wants to go golfing off of your retirement money.
It's your cool cousins that you always wanted to seem cool to.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are complaining.
It's the one with the purple hairs. And
they've made their own way in life.
Skull t-shirts.
They're doing quite well with their t-shirt business, except they're constantly getting ripped off by those damn bots.
Yeah.
They're the ones.
Yeah. Well, when I'm at the family dinner table in the holiday season, I pull out my Escobar flip phone and chat with the Escobar. Tell them what I've done. I sell cocaine.
How do I explain why this phone has the last name of an infamous cartel head?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great question, sir.
Yeah. The great thing about that phone is you can't ever get caught looking at pornography because the welcome screen of the phone is pornography.
Just
what do you want me to do? That's the phone.
Hey, you like? It's a pretty cool phone, right?
Yeah. Is that pornography? Well, that's what it's the phone. It's
the Escobar.
It's always pornography.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's it for today's episode. Please be sure to check out our most recent episode where we explain to you in very concise terms that the banana duct taped to a wall is in fact art.
It is. The art decider, us,
yes,
we are the art deciders, have decided that it's art.
It is art. But find out why by watching that. We also have an episode of Weekly Weird News and an exclusive podcast for Patreon supporters and for YouTube members. By the way, iOS is updating and you can soon you'll be able to join as a YouTube member from your iPhone.
Good.
Yes. Bye.
Well, stay tuned for that. Bye-bye.